Happy Friday. I'm Debbie and Lista's on camera, and today I'm going to show you how to do a potato chip block. And before I do, I have to apologize. Last week I filmed this on the wrong Facebook page, so that's why we weren't out. So I wanted to show you what we have coming up in classes. We have a sew a fabric rope bowl basket. And so you're going to learn how to make a basket this size, medium. And the class is coming up a week from Saturday. Tomorrow is the last day to sign up for that. Lester, can you zoom down there for a moment, please? Thank you. Then on October 25th and 1st, we're having another class of our beginning quilting. This is the starter class. You're going to learn all kinds of techniques and why we do certain things certain ways. This here, you're actually going to start off, so many of us just start cutting fabric up and trying to figure it out on our own. There's a lot of tips that Leslie Yale teaches in the class that'll make you a much better quilter right off the bat. It's a 2-session class, great way to start beginners. And then after this class, there's 2 more classes if you want to continue on with that. On November 8th, I'm going to be teaching Gear Up for the holidays. And so the class will cover making 4 placemats and 4 napkins. And that's going to be fun. I'm actually working on those placemats right now. And then on November 15th, Catherine is going to be teaching the pillowcase fun class, and I just want you to take a moment and look at all the variety of pillowcases that we have available. Most of them are out of our custom, actually all of them, but this one here is our custom fabric. This is a Christmas one. Oh, Barb's not going to be happy I did this. We knew this would happen at some point, Barb. Okay, let me get this one out. Oh gosh, okay. And this is a fun Christmas pillowcase. I hope I have the reindeer. Yep, got the reindeer going the right way. So that's coming up. And we're just ready to gear up and have some fun. I know it doesn't seem like it's ready for holiday seasons, but here it comes. So I'm going to show you how to make a potato chip block. This is really simple and fun. It's a great way to use your scraps, and I'm not a scrappy person, and this is about, you'll see in a minute how unscrappy I am because I have to lay things out in a certain direction. But also good if you're finishing up a quilt and you have a bunch of pieces of fabric left over. This is a quick way to use the rest of those fabric pieces up and make something that coordinates with your bigger quilt that you already made. So I went back into the shop stash of our bits and pieces, and I just pulled out things that I thought looked fall-like to start with. Then I took them and I cut them into strips. And I knew I was going to make them. I was going to cut pieces 2.5 inches by 4.5 inch pieces. So I made strips that are big enough to do that. Wide enough this way because I'm going to cut them this way with the Stripology ruler. I am going to, and I'll send you some information on the Stripology ruler after the video. And I have that green one folded, so I just want to get to the very edge here. Oh, I'm really crooked. This one here, there. And this is a quick way to cut up your pieces also and thin out your stash a little bit. Make sure I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 and a half. Yes, I do. Okay, so when you're using the Stripology ruler, you want to let the blade rest in here. You don't want to go in pushing, you want it to rest. So I'm going to let it rest, and then I'm going to start. I'm going to know where my fingers are, because you know how that goes, right to the hospital if you cut yourself with a rotary blade. Then I'm going to come over and I'm going to do these. Now I'm doing 2.5 inches by 4.5 inches. So I'm going to cut a bunch of 2.5 inch pieces. And I could have stacked another couple layers in here too. I'm going to go ahead and pull these out. I could have continued cutting, well, that's for another life. And I want to let you know that we're trying to get our lives on YouTube so you can go back and watch them. I know a lot of people have been asking for the pattern of the aspen leaf that we did about a month ago, and that Catherine will probably be writing that into a pattern, because I just told you how I did it quickly for the show, for live. Okay, so now I'm relining up here on the top line, and I'm going to go over to 4.5, 0 to 4.5. Go, and then I'm going to slide this back down and do one more cut, line it up again. And the reason why I had to divide it is because there's not enough length on this to cut. Zero, 4.5. These out of the way, and now I've got all these extra pieces here. Whoops. Must have gotten one of our ditches. We have ditches on these mats from cutting the same place too often. Okay. So we'll just set those aside. I'll add this to my pile. So this didn't take any time for me to cut all these. Set this over here, and we'll lay out a block. So I want to have one of every color. That might be too bright. Oh, there's a cute little pica. This is part of our custom. And so, of course, you have to remember that there's going to be seam allowance in here, and they're all going to go together just beautifully. Oh, gotta get purple in here. And so this row is 2. Then you sew 1 to each end. Then you're going to sew 2 over on this side here. Okay, I do see that I have a little bit of selvage in here, but I know that's going to be in my 1/4 inch, so I'm fine with that. This is a scrap quilt. Put some red over here. And so then you're going to sew these 2 together, then you'll join those together here. And then down at the bottom, you're going to do 2 more. And here. And you can make these blocks any size that you can divide by 2. So if you wanted to do 4.5 by 8.5, because you have larger prints and you want to use them up. So you sew these together, you're going to sew these 2 together, it's all going to go together. Let's see if I've got this. Yes. So I'm right here. These are right here. These 2 were right here. And then we're going to do 1 more of 3 on both sides here. I want this one, but I want this light over here. Maybe right there. And this is me being scrappy. A lot of people would just put this in a bowl, and whenever they pull out, that's what they're going to put together. Does that piece look bigger? It is. That one's too big. Didn't get cut completely. And, oh yes, definitely. This one has to go. I think we're going to put that one down here. And 2 more. Let's just put something out here. Yeah, that's not a repeat either. Good. That's a repeat. I have 1 repeat in here. I could have taken more of your time and not done that, but anyway, so when you sew this all together, you'll end up with a block like this. Now, another thing that's magical about this, notice that there are no seams. There's no seams that are up against where you have to butt seams up into each other. And then when you do this, and I messed this up, you can turn it this way, and again, you won't have any seams that butt up. And I forgot to show you the rope bowls. These are for the class next Saturday. This is the size that you're going to get. And it's a very fun class. They all turn out different. Everybody has a blast in that. And until next week, have a great one. I won't forget you next week, I promise. Sorry.